Hello, everyone, and welcome to Influential Leadership Tips. My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm John Hadley. And Dave, the thing that was striking me today was about perceptions and how that influences you as a leader. And it started from a really simple point that a chief executive of BMI, a music rights management company, Mike O'Neill, he said this in an interview about, it basically was titled, "In a Meeting, Put Down the Phone." And he said, one of my favorite things when we go into a staff meeting is to say, anybody waiting on a call, is there an emergency? If not, turn your phones off. We're here for 35 minutes to an hour, whichever it may be. We can focus for that. If you have something that's time sensitive, you can step out of the room and do it, but just let us know beforehand. And that led me to a couple of things. I mean, obviously, the simple point out of this is, hey, if I go to a meeting, I should commit one way or the other. If I'm going there, I should focus on the purpose of the meeting. If I'm not prepared to focus on it, then I shouldn't be there at all. I should be using my time some other way.
Yeah, be present.
Yeah, but even more than that, I should make sure people understand where I'm coming from. If I'm the leader of this meeting and I need to have my laptop open because I'm most effective taking notes on my laptop as we go along, then let me set that expectation. Let me tell people, here's why I have this here, because I'm more effective taking notes, or because I have something I want to show you on my laptop, or whatever it might be, or the CEO is supposed to be calling me back, so I have to this time have my phone open. Because if I just do these things without setting expectations, then it's like I've created open season. Everyone else, oh, well, he has his phone on, he has his laptop open, he's looking at things on his laptop, so maybe it's okay. It's part of the accepted culture to do that. But then I was thinking there's a second example that I read recently that I thought was really interesting about a millennial. He got invited to a high-powered meeting, and he sat there in the first half of the meeting, and he was on his phone the whole time. And so in midway through, there's a break. He goes to the men's room, and his mentor happens to come into the men's room and says to him, "Look, I just got to tell you, you got to put away the phone." And he's like, huh? Because what he'd been doing was he was taking notes on his phone of the important points in the meeting the whole time. But the perception was, oh, look, here's a millennial, he's texting. What do you expect? And so his mentor did something really good. When they came back into the meeting, his mentor said, by the way, if anyone needs notes from the meeting so far, see Jim, because he's been taking some really good ones. But it was all about perception.
Nice recovery.
Oh yeah, great mentor there. But it's all about perception.
Yeah.
If he'd thought of it, he'd said at the beginning, by the way, I'm going to take notes as we go along here on my phone, it might have been okay. But because he just assumed he could, and everyone else has this assumption that, oh, it's a phone, so you're texting or you're doing internet or you're checking Facebook. They don't even think of that.
Yeah, and it's kind of a delicate line to walk because people are watching us. They're watching you as a leader. So whereas you don't want to be too other conscious, in terms of conscious, I should say, in that you don't want to be worried about what everyone thinks all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, you kind of have to be aware of the image you're presenting, the perception you're presenting. Hey, Roxy.
So yeah, there is a fine line, because I don't want to be always kowtowing to others' expectations, but at the same time, I need to be very sensitive to them, because I could be sending signals I don't even realize or intend just by the way I'm acting. And I go back to when I started in the actuarial profession, I saw many actuarial students get a reputation, and people who weren't actuarial students really resented them. And it wasn't that they were doing anything wrong. It was that they were taking the study time that they were entitled to. But what those other people saw was, oh, these entitled actuarial students, they're going off and playing tennis every Thursday or something. They're never here. And so I got really sensitive to how were other people perceiving what I'm doing. And I was really proud of the fact that in every rotation, I would find people saying, you know, you're not like other actuaries. And they meant it in a good way, that I wasn't falling into the traps that some of the others were. And it wasn't that they're doing anything wrong. It's just they hadn't been sensitive to how what they were doing was perceived by others.
Yeah. And I think one of the things I'm hearing you say is you can control the perception, not just by what you do, but by communicating. So you got to leave early. You kind of make sure the important people know why. I'm not just coming and going. You know, so it's not like I have to put FaceTime in just for the sake of FaceTime, but let people know, hey, I'm going to see my kids play today.
Right.
So I got to leave early, you know.
Even early in my career, my dad was an advocate of the fact that, okay, when you first start the job, you're going to be there before your boss gets in. You're going to leave after your boss leaves. You're going to put in the FaceTime. You're going to show that you are really committed. And then later on, people won't mind when you do some things like take off to go watch your kids play soccer, because you already have a reputation of having put in the effort. It's very different when you go in and right from day one, you're taking the time off because you assume you should.
The whole first impression thing. So the key is to really be aware of the perception you're putting out and to control that.
Right. So the homework, I guess, I would give is first look around and see what people might be perceiving of how you operate, of your style, of how you operate in meetings, how you communicate to your staff, all those things. You know, if there have been 360-degree feedback mechanisms, look at those. Pour through them carefully to see what the real perceptions are. Ask some people. And then the next time you go to a meeting, just watch what's going on, but think about, have I communicated my expectations or what I want people to perceive of how I'm operating here? Be present if you're going to be there, and really work for the next few weeks on being very present and being very targeted in how you communicate what you're doing.
Sounds good. Good stuff.
Talk to you all next week.
In the meantime, be influential.